Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faye. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video and checking it out, for hanging out with your girl for another video. If this is your first time visiting my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe down below. I would love to have you as part of my Faye fam. Also be sure to turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a review on the LA Girl Pro Matte High Definition Long Wear Matte Foundation. This foundation came out a little bit ago, and a couple of you guys have requested that I do a review on this foundation, as well as a couple others that I have in my collection. So today I decided to film a review on this one, just in case you're interested or you are one of the people that requested it and you want to kind of know how it wears, know all the tea on this foundation. I'm going to be reviewing it for you guys today. And yeah, that is pretty much the gist of what this video is going to be about. Before we jump into the demo, I do want to mention that this foundation does retail on the LA Girl website for $10. And I did also check on the Ulta website as well, and it's actually a little bit cheaper on Ulta. It's $8.99. And it looks like there are 14 shades total available on the LA Girl website, and the foundation itself claims to have a soft and suede-like finish, and it's supposed to leave you covered and shine-free all day. It's a creamy liquid formula that provides smooth and buildable coverage for both day and nighttime wear. It also claims to minimize pores and fine lines for an even soft focus effect. And it's a paraben-free formula with vitamin E, B5, and sunflower oils. So yeah, those are all the details on the foundation, and I don't think that there's anything else that I want to mention in the intro. So let's go ahead and jump right into the demo. Alright guys, so I did go ahead and apply my primers off camera just to get that out of the way and save a little bit of time on this video. But I will go ahead and let you guys know what I used. Also, if you're interested in this makeup tutorial that I am in the midst of filming, yes, I am filming it, so I'm not sure if it will be up before or after this video. If it is up, I will link it for you. If it's not, stay tuned. So on my face for primer, I used the Professional Pearl Primer. I'm finishing up this little sample that I purchased to try it out. I really do like this primer even better than the original. So I use this to fill in my pores. And then to control oil, I went in with the Hourglass Mineral Veil. And then I set my primers in place with the Cover FX Matte Setting Powder, and I have mine in the shade Medium. If you're new to my channel, then you probably are not up to speed on my foundation routine, but I did go ahead and do my regular routine so that you guys could see a real life, like how it actually looks on my skin with my regular routine. And I do have very oily skin if you are new here, so I do set my primers with a mattifying powder before I go in with my foundation, just to kind of help everything wear a little bit longer for me throughout the day. So that is my normal everyday foundation routine. So moving on to the foundation, of course you guys know we are working with the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation today. This is a HD high definition long wear matte foundation, and I have mine in the shade Cafe. I did have to watch a couple of reviews and do a little bit of research to figure out which shade was going to be the best match for me, and this one, so far so good, has been working for me. Today is not the first day that I have worn this foundation. This is a review, not a first impression. So I have been wearing this. I have been putting it to the test on my oily skin throughout the day, and I will be letting you guys know at the end of the video, of course, my final thoughts on how this wears on oily skin. So it does have a pump, so that's always a plus. And the way that I like to apply my foundation is I take a large concealer brush and I pump the foundation onto the brush, and then I apply it to my face, and then I buff it out with whatever tool I am going to use. I literally hardly ever blend out my foundation with a beauty blender. I pretty much always use a brush, but for the purposes of this video, I will do half of my face with a beauty blender or a beauty sponge, and the other half of my face with a brush, so that you guys can see the way that the product applies on both sides. Okay, so starting off on the left side of my face, this is the consistency of the product. It's a little bit thick. As you can see, it's running down a little bit, but not too much. And we're just going to apply that And then I'm going to blend that out with my Sigma angled kabuki brush, and I'm just gonna do a mixture of swiping and patting motions is normally the way that I blend out my foundation. And you guys can see already I didn't apply any color correcting products to my face prior to applying this foundation, and the coverage is bomb. Okay, so this is this side of my face, and then this is the side with the foundation on. The coverage, it's amazing, and this is with a brush. So, and I do have a few breakouts going on right now too on my face, courtesy of Mother Nature. Y'all already know she likes to play you when she gets ready. So I figured this would be the perfect time to film this review, because I know a couple of you guys requested it back when I first got this foundation, and I was like, well, I've been meaning to film it, and I have a couple breakouts happening, so this is a good time to show you guys the coverage. Alright, so that is one whole half of my face done. For this side of my face, I'm going to be using this little blending sponge right here. This is from Sonia Kashuk. I happened to come across this in Target, and I just couldn't resist this like beautiful marble situation. And this is actually my first time using this sponge, and I didn't realize that the bottom is flat. So I'm actually kind of excited to use this, and this sponge is huge. When I took it out of the packaging, I don't know if you guys can like see, but this is what it looked like in the packaging. So tiny, and then when I just wet it, it just like blew up to this. So I'm going to use this on this side to blend out the foundation. And I literally never blend out my foundation with a sponge. I know a lot of people really love to do it this way. I just never do. But one of you guys requested in one of my previous foundation reviews to at least do it just to show you guys, you know, for those of you guys that do like to blend out your foundation with a sponge, what it would look like. So this is for you. Okay, so this is the sponge side blended out, and this is the brush side blended out. So, I mean, I don't mind. I didn't mind the sponge side, but I think with this particular foundation, I like the brush side better, because I just feel like when I'm pushing the product into my skin with the brush, like between the strokes and pushing with the brush, I just feel like it fills in my pores in this area a lot better than it did over here with the sponge. And then of course, whenever you use a sponge, the coverage is a little bit more sheer. So I do see on this side some of my dark spots and stuff I can still see on this side, whereas on this side I have a good bit better coverage. So I'm going to apply a light second layer just using my brush. Alright guys, so this is what my skin is looking like. I tried to come in a little bit closer for you guys so that you can see what it looks like. And this foundation, it looks beautiful on the skin in my opinion. Like, it's really lightweight. It doesn't feel like I have anything on my face, and it just sits on the skin so nicely. Like, it's not heavy. It feels really good. It feels lightweight, like I said, and the coverage is bomb. So I'm all about that full coverage life. So this is what we're looking like so far. I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to let you guys know the tea on, you know, the rest of the details about this foundation. Alright guys, so I am back, and this is the finished face. I know you guys already saw a sneak peek of this in the intro, so this isn't anything new, but I did want to mention to you guys as well, which I also believe I mentioned in the demo too, that I did film this entire look. So it may be up by the time that you watch this video. If it is not, if it is, I will link it for you. If it is not, stay tuned. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the details of this foundation. Now, I have worn this foundation a couple of times. I've worn it to work. I've worn it out and about in the elements. I've sweat in it. I have just worn it, you know, like my normal everyday foundation. I really wanted to get an idea, like a good, strong opinion about this foundation before I came on here and reviewed it for you guys, because this is not a first impression, it is a review. So I did want to give you guys like a pretty strong, I wanted to have my thoughts together and have a pretty strong idea about how I felt about this foundation before I came on here and did a review for you guys. So you guys saw in the demo, and you can see now the foundation looks beautiful on the skin, absolutely flawless. So I definitely agree with the claims that it fills in or helps to minimize your pores, it helps to minimize fine lines, and just gives you a really nice flawless finish. I definitely agree with that because my skin is very smooth. I don't think they mentioned this in the description, but the foundation itself is very lightweight. Even though it's a very full coverage and buildable coverage foundation, it is very lightweight on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy, and it wears very nicely throughout the day. Now, being an oily skin person, as most of you guys know I am, as far as the wear throughout the day, when I wear this to work, I do find that about halfway through the day, probably within about 4 hours or so after applying the foundation, I do kind of start to get oily. My oils start to seep through in my T-zone and in this area right here where my pores, where I have large pores. So I do have to go in and blot and apply, you know, just touch up a little bit. You guys know how it is. Apply a mattifying powder or something just to kind of set everything. But I do not find that this foundation breaks up on me at all during the day. It holds pretty much where I placed it, and whenever I go in and I blot and I apply my setting powder on top, it is fresh and it looks just like I have just applied it. It wears very, very nicely throughout the day. So it does claim to leave you shine free all day. Now, depending on how oily you are, now if you're like normal skin or like combination skin, this will probably be like completely fine on you. But if you're very oily like I am, I would just say to apply this foundation the way that you normally would, your normal foundation routine. As you guys saw in the demo, I did my normal foundation routine. I used my primers, I set my primers. I didn't change anything as far as how I normally apply foundation to my face. And whenever I do that, and of course after I applied the foundation, I did set it as well. I do find that it wears very nicely on the skin, and I don't really have very many issues with it. I do really enjoy this foundation, and I think the main reason that I enjoy it is because it gives you a flawless full coverage look without feeling heavy or cakey on the skin. You can build it up and it's not gonna look, like I said, heavy or cakey. It's just a really nice formula, a really beautiful finish, and it looks gorgeous on the skin. So if you have been on the fence about picking up this foundation, I would definitely recommend it. It is oily skin approved, it is Fayy Lenee approved. I would definitely recommend that you pick it up and try it out if you're looking for a more affordable option of a foundation that will really help to keep your skin matte and that will last on you and won't break up on you and have you looking crazy after 8 hours. So yeah, I think that is pretty much all that I have to say about this foundation as far as the review is concerned. If you have any specific questions, feel free to leave them for me down below in the comments. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It helps me out a lot, helps to get my video out to more people. So if you enjoyed it and found it helpful, or if you just, you know, are feeling in the spirit, give your girl a thumbs up. And again, if you are new to my channel, definitely make sure that you subscribe and turn on your notifications, join the fam, and, you know, just make sure that you don't miss out on any future videos. So that is all that I have for you guys for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye. Thank you.